Yo, what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that other good, beautiful, wonderful this one is a question, and we're trying to get back in the swing of things. Well, I'm trying to get back in the swing of things, so y'all can forgive me if I'm a little bit out there on these videos, but I'm going to do my best. Someone sent in a question and said, how do you tell if a dog is on steroids? Which is actually a good question, especially with a lot of the topics that have been going on. And there's a couple of indicators. Now, in the physical form, what I would tell you is if you see a dog that's super muscular, and the first thing you want to do actually is just check to see if the dog has balls. One thing about most steroids in general is that if the animal is on them, his testicles will stop working because of the high levels of testosterone in the system. And, basically they'll shrivel up. Now, they'll still be there, of course. It's not like they fall off, but they'll shrivel up and even have baby balls. And, of course, when you're not on it, you know what I mean, the testicles get back to working. They pick up the weight. That's funny talking about the balls, but they pick up the weight, they fill back out, and it's, they're there. You can see them hanging, and they're there. But generally, when a dog or a human is on steroids, their balls are going to shrivel up, and that's one of the first indicators. Now, like the hidden indicators that I can tell you is you'll notice if you see a lot of dogs and they seem to be once again big and muscular, but they'll seem to lock up. And this is something that actually has happened in bodybuilding from time to time too. But the dogs will be doing the slightest of work, and you'll see them and they need to be iced down, or they seem super fatigued, but they're just big, super muscular dogs, and you wonder, why is this dog getting that tired that fast if they look that good? They're not looking fat, they're looking muscular, but they're tiring out. Well, what happens is with the extra high volume of red blood cells, that generally what needs to be done is, if it was a person, that person would donate blood, to relieve some of the red blood cells and stop the possibility of clotting, having blood clots to go to the lungs or the heart, and also to thin out the blood and to slow down the pump. Now, with a dog, of course, most of these guys who shoot their dogs up aren't going to go through the process of actually drawing blood out of the dog to make, to thin the dog's blood out. So what you'll see is a lot of these dogs typically don't like to move a lot. They'll lock up on you, and it's a process, and we see it more and more. A lot of people at dog shows icing their dogs down, and you wonder why that process is. The ice, of course, takes out inflammation, and it relaxes the muscle more and more, and that allows that dog to work for that moment until the red blood cells build up again, and he can't go again. Now, this is what I will tell you is that just because a dog is big doesn't mean he's on steroids, but you should check these indicators. Another good sign of when you look at these dogs is irregular muscularity is another thing. And what I mean by that is you have some dogs that are very big and muscular. I have one in Mandela who's just gigantic. But when you look at his kids carry a lot of his muscularity traits. Not many of them are, topping 100 pounds at his height like he is, but you get a lot of 90, 95 pound, very, very, very muscular dogs from him. So they're carrying the characteristics. Whereas, some of the dogs who have been accused of steroid use or whatever, if you look at their offspring, a lot of their offspring don't carry the size that you see them in the ring. They don't carry anything near that. You see a total opposite of that. Now, that could be from many things and not just steroids, but that is an indicator because, steroids are not genetics, so they don't pass them on to their kids. And you'll notice some of the dogs in the recent years from the American bully world that have been super, super popular, they don't have super popular kids, or they don't have kids that look a lot like them, because a lot of it was false presentation, And with that false presentation, not only are those not really their kids, but even when they do have kids, they're passing on genetics, not what's in that tube. And it's a difference, it's a huge difference. But as far as, looking for a dog with steroids, the number one indicator with a male, of course, is flat out, he's got to have balls. He's got to have balls. You look for the over muscularity, and you look for the weight drop. Excuse me. And what I mean by the weight drop is, you know, when the dogs are in season, as we would call it, those dogs, you know, are huge. But when the owners get them home and they decide I'm not going to show them for a while, you know what I mean? Then it becomes something else. So we'll see what's what, and we'll go from there, man. But until next time, man, much love to y'all. Peace.